and I did not have any job so far, and do not join the fresher group at all. One person should be there only in one group. If you are there in two groups, sometime later we will identify you for sure. We will remove you from two groups. Okay, not only one group. Okay, now you should join on. Definitely there will be one group suitable to you. Okay, I will take just 3 minutes to explain this process. Just listen to me carefully. మళ్ళీ తర్వాత నాకు మెసేజ్ మాత్రం పెట్టద్దు. ఓకే, ఫ్రెషర్స్ you know, right? 2020, 2020, 2021, 22 pass out only from India. If you are in USA, you are an MS graduate freshly, and you are not considered to be a fresher. In USA, you do not get fresher jobs and all. Okay, mostly. Anyhow, we are not going to post any jobs of freshers in our group. Only freshers jobs will be posted in freshers group. Okay. And strictly 2020, 21, 22 pass outs, you would be joining in the fresher group. If at all requirement is there for 2019 and all, we know how to share in which group, where and all. We'll share you, you'll be notified accordingly. And fresher group. And the second group, the next group will be only for the resources who are unemployed. Means you might have done your graduation like 2019 or before. 19 and before, you will be considered as gap. Okay, resources who are unemployed means you are not working anywhere. You have a gap. Plus people who are working in non-IT. Non-IT means you are working in credit cards, insurance, and some other civil department jobs or contract jobs, something else. I mean, contract means non-IT jobs. Non-IT jobs plus unemployed. Non-IT jobs, when I say, listen to me carefully. If you are a non-IT person, but you are 2021 pass out, then which group you will join? You will have to join a fresher group only. You should not consider that non-IT. You should consider first this pass out year. You are 2019 pass out and you are working in non-IT company. Then you have to be considered, we will be considering you as unemployed. First thing. Okay. Because you are not employed into IT industry, right? So that is where you have to join. And there will be one more group that is for IT employees, IT professionals. Okay, IT professionals who are working in IT company, maybe development role or production support or maybe ServiceNow, Salesforce, mainframes, anything, any UI, anything. You have an IT software job, small or big company where you are working in production support or development or testing, anything, you are an IT employee. For that, you need to join a group. Now again, one more question. You are working in TCS, but you are 2021 pass out. Which group you would be joining? No, you will not join fresher group this time. You have to join employed IT group only. You already a job holder, right? For you, will send you. You cannot go as a fresher even if I am sending you a requirement, correct? Again, do you want to go as a fresher starting from beginning? No, right? You would be saying that I am working since past 6 months in TCS. Okay, I learned Pega, at least learning experience. I want to move on now. That's how you can show. Otherwise, 6 months you can say I have on Pega. 1 year I have on Pega, like that. So for the unemployed people or for the people who are non-IT job, 2020 or 21 or 22 pass out, non-IT job, still you are a fresher. Okay, but you are already employed into IT jobs, either testing or development or anything related to TCS, Tech Mahindra, all this, anything, any small company to big company. But if you are pass out of 2020, 21 or 22, still you are employed group only. So unemployed group, freshers group, employed group. Freshers, non-IT job or no job. 2020, 21, 22. Listen to me carefully. Okay. And non-IT job employed plus no job. 2019 and before. Which group? Unemployed group. Okay. IT job, any year of pass out, you are no matter. You are just passed out 3 months back, you got IT job. Still you have to be there in the employed group because you wanted to bother about your notice period, everything. That's why. Okay. So employed IT. And USA, resources from USA and other countries, one more group will be separate group. Total 4 groups. When I send you the links to join the group, invitation to join the group, when you look at the description, you will be able to understand clearly. Okay. అక్కడ చదవకుండా నా దగ్గరికి మాత్రం రావద్దు. అర్థమైందా? దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ బద్ధకం, లేజినెస్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. యూ రీడ్ ఇట్ దేర్, It will be very much clear to understand, and I told you now as well. Okay, once again, read it there and you will come to know which group you are suitable for. Suppose you are working in Tech Mahindra, okay, but in Tech Mahindra, you are working on what is that? Google services like mapping technologies and all. Your pass out year is 20, okay, let's say 2018. Then what do you think? Which group you belong to? IT? You have a notice period there? You have a notice period, right? So you will be considered as employed only. Okay. And do not join two groups at all. Okay. Only join one group. Definitely it will be suitable for you. And now let's look at our subject. Let's go to our subject. Today you will receive after some time, immediately join. Okay, once you receive, I will be creating the groups and I'll tell you who are the people in that groups going to help you. Apart from me, I'll add 2 more other resources. They will guide you every time. YMP Electric. What is our application? SBI. Yeah. What was the topic in the last class? Flow. Action flow. We have discussed. And after that, did we create a flow and all? We made a transaction also. Flow action. Further flow action after. What was the final point we discussed related to?
We verified the data in the database.
Okay. We have looked at the database tables and all, where the data is getting stored. See, I wanted to try this online resources. I want to try what? I wanted to try sharing my video also, so that I feel like you better experience the session. That's what the intention, nothing other than that. See, now you need to tell me, are you getting my video also displayed apart from the screen sharing?
No, sir.
Yes.
No.
If no, you need to check from your end. Yes, right?
Yes, we are getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you tell me one more thing. Is that disturbing you? I mean, like the video presentation plus session screen sharing.
No, not
Alignment in your screen. Is it properly aligned or any disturbance of you need to move here and there?
It is so small.
Disturbance is here.
It is not good.
But it's good for me.
It's good, it's good.
Sir, we can't see what is on top. I mean,
It is very simple. My intention is to make it more interactive. That's it. But if there is any issues related to this one, what is it? Network and all, I will just stop the video and all. But do you see me now? All of you. My cam is on. You should see me as well as see. I will take up the session like this just for today. Let us see how it goes. Okay. Now also you tell me, do you see me now? Now. I'm asking now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No, sir.
No. So all of you,
No,
please
sir.
from your end. Yes or no?
Yes, we can see you, sir.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Those people who say no, we can think about it later. Leave it. Okay. Because I have shared it. Maybe some options from your end you should bother about. Let me proceed now. See, I want you to unmute and ask me, respond to me. Unmute and inform me if you have any latency in the video streaming or even the audio streaming. Like audio, if you find any disturbance or something, immediately unmute and say. It should happen for everyone, not for one person. If everyone is happening, then there is an issue. Otherwise, there is no issue. Now I started accessing the BRB's environment. We were discussing about creates a new work object option. Creates a new work object option that is available. Makes the workflow executable. That is for non-draft flows. Okay, what is meant by a draft flow? Draft flow is a dummy flow just for demonstration purpose. And draft flow you create only in the for testing purpose, just for demonstration purpose. Without calling any rules into the flow, you can finish the design of the flow and you can give a demo to your business and all. And apart from draft flow, we discussed about creates a new work object option which makes the workflow executable. When flow is executed, it creates a work object in the background. So the work object is going to get created and it travels the flow from start shape to till end shape on its way to get resolved. And all the information that is flowing throughout the transaction, that is there in the transaction, everything will be held by work object. Everything, entire information will be held by work object only. My friends, okay. So everything is going to be held by work object. Work object holds entire data that is there in the transaction, beginning to ending, all the screens. Now, the work object that has been created is going to get stored into a backend table. What was the table? Generically, what do you call the table name? Work table. What is the table? You call it a work object gets stored into
Work table.
Work table. You are not responding means you are not watching the video or you are not going through the theory document. Simple. Okay. Okay. Work table. So work table is the one where the work object gets stored. There are two columns as of now which we need to bother about. What are those columns? PYID.
PYID.
PZPV stream.
PYID and PZPV stream. PYID column stores work object ID value. PZPV stream column stores work object data in binary large objects format. Apart from that, I will show you another columns. Okay, just have a look at here. I will go to 8.7.
Yes.
Okay, I will open one second. Hold on. Just give me a minute. It is getting loaded. See, one more thing, let me tell you. Whenever you are facing an issue, you are immediately contacting me back without even thinking, I think. See, why I am saying this, if you look at the screenshots and all, the issue that you are facing, definitely you will be able to understand the fix if you take some considerable amount of time as per your brain capability today. Okay, but you are getting back to me directly. That is one big problem. Okay. That is not going to give you any knowledge. Look at here. PYID column I have shown you already. PZPV stream also I have shown you in binary large formats. It will get stored. Large objects. See, there is one column called PX create date time. Don't ask me what is PX. This is OOTB available in Pega. PX create date and time. See, you don't need to know about technology before itself, or you don't need to think about technical things while you are learning any technology. If you have little bit of what do you call basic sense of understanding English language, it is very easy to learn the technology. What is your guess? What do you think? See, we are creating work objects. Work objects are getting stored into this table. There is one column which says PX create date time, which is holding a value. What is your guess about it? What do you think of this column all about? PX
The
create
date and time when the data is created.
Object create is creation date.
The data.
This is the date and time when work object is created. That is the way to learn Pega. That is the way to learn any technology. You don't need a master for it separately. This type of things. PX create date time, create date time, date and time when it is being created. That is also loaded automatically by process commander itself. If other technologies you are working on, all this you have to do by yourself. Pega has OOTB features, all this. Okay, any technology, any application, this is very common. So that's why they have made it already OOTB available. PX create operator. What do you think of it? PX create. Don't bother about PX at all. Create operator. What does it mean?
The
username.
When that transaction.
The operator ID. Who created it? Is getting stored in this table. Similarly, I'll ask you one more thing. The PX update date time. What is your guess? PX update date time.
The time when the edits are done.
When it was last verified date and time will be stored in a column. What is the column name? PX update date time. Somewhere it will be available in the alphabetical order. Okay. Here, I think here. PX update operator. You can easily guess. What is PX update operator?
Who updated?
Operator is a modified
Operator ID details.
Modify. Who is the operator who has hands on modifying this particular transaction just before some time? Not some time, just latest. See, there is one transaction created, insurance transaction. First it went to analyst. Analyst has looked at everything. Analyst has added some data from his end. He forwarded to next level. At next level, there is a quality reviewer. That is the person who reviewed everything. He said some quality comments he has given. He forwarded to next level. Now third operator, manager. He may either approve or reject. It is there at the manager now. Now I go to database and see PX create update operator. Who is PX create update operator? Who is PX create update operator?
Developer.
I told you analyst.
Who has updated the last?
Analyst and quality specialist. People don't unmute at all. Online resources never unmute. I don't need you to respond. You can respond directly as a mirror to my video. Don't unmute because there is a lot of noise in the network. That's why other people will get disturbed. Okay, never unmute at all. Now you are being given with access to mute and unmute, but never unmute. Now what is that? PX update operator. Who is update operator? Analyst has done something, forwarded to quality reviewer. Quality reviewer has done something, forwarded to manager. Now it is there with the manager. Who is update operator? Quality reviewer. Quality, whoever is done quality review, they are the latest modified person. Manager is still doing. He did not complete it. Okay. So whoever has last modified, that is what? Update operator. Create operator means who has initiated this transaction. Okay. That person is create operator. Clear? Is it matching with your real life or not? Is it something magical? No, right? It is matching with reality or not? Technology is all about reality. Okay. So that is just for your information as of now. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at understanding about further details. This work table, all this. Okay, I told you work object is getting stored into work table. So on so columns I have given you idea about. How the data is going from PRPC environment to table in the backend. Not complete details, but high level I will tell you. See, I am going to make a transaction now. Okay, by executing the flow. This is the flow I have. Begin auto insurance and actions and then run. First name. You give some first name. Okay. Last name. Okay, and I'm sorry, female. Who are these people I'm entering here always in the screens? We know so many are there who are freedom fighters, we don't even know the names. They're all freedom fighters only for India. I think you never heard about these names. Many of you, not everyone. Okay, go to work page and here you have the data. See, data is posted to some place. I'll tell you the navigations and all. But I can see the data that I have submitted here. Somewhere at some place I can see. See, have you ever heard about the term called clipboard? CLIPBOARD, not in Pega, generally. Have you ever seen clipboard? If you have ever copied a contact in your phone and pasted somewhere else, have you ever tried that? Then what do you see once you do that? Once you copy the contact in your phone, what is the message you see as a pop-up? Copy to clipboard. On your laptop, Windows or Mac or anything, you right click on a file, copy. Where it will get copied to? You are copying means there should be somewhere it should get copied, right? I have copied something, it should come. I have copied someone who is sitting in front of me in the exam. It should be there on my paper, right? That's what I have copied from source to somewhere else. Okay. Name also I have copied. What is the use? Roll number also I have copied. Okay. Now you copy it, it will come to somewhere that you are calling in the technology clipboard. Now you copy a what is that phone number? Okay, not roll number. Phone number you copy. Now it will come to clipboard. Is it permanent or temporary? It will be there forever in your phone. Copied one. I'm asking about only copied one. Contact will be there. Okay. Okay. It is temporary. Concept will never change wherever it is. The technology also same thing. If you are observing the real life day-to-day actions and all, everything is taken into technology, not only Pega. Java, .NET, anything is same. Okay, now coming back to this one. What is that? I'm telling you. Clipboard, right? Okay, clipboard is the place where data is being posted. Generally, you are doing it by copying in your phones and all, but it is not copied. System will copy. You are not manually doing it. Now, whenever you create a work object and you enter some data and click on submit, right? The moment you click on submit button, the data that is present in the UI has been posted into next level. That is called as clipboard. From one place, that is, let me make one more transaction once again. Okay, here I am going to make it once again. And here you go. Submit this. Okay, once you submit this, this data will get posted onto, where it will get posted to? Clipboard. Okay, I'll tell you navigation later. Somewhere it is getting posted. Okay, all the data which are submitted is, when it got posted, the moment I click on submit button, the moment you click on submit button, the data that is present in the UI has got posted into a place called clipboard. That is a temporary storage place. And by this time, the data also has been stored into table. Table also it is there. You go and see in the table, work object ID. What is the ID? 19,002. Is it there? The last one it should be. $19,002 is there. Means data from PRPC, how it is flowing, the step by step. From Pega environment, it will go to clipboard. From clipboard, it will go to database table. Understand everyone clear? So what is the clipboard here? Clipboard is a temporary storage place which is acting as an interface between Pega rules process commander UI and its database. UI is there, PRPC UI is there, and database is there in the backend. Between these two, what is there? Clipboard. Clipboard is a temporary storage place that is between PRPC UI and backend database table. Understand? So data will go from PRPC environment UI to clipboard, from clipboard to table. Suppose I am doing reverse, I am retrieving, I am performing a search operation. I am searching a customer by phone number. Once I enter phone number, I click on search, details are displayed. Already customer was there. Customer was there means it should be available in the database already, right? So it has taken from database and taken the data to clipboard. From clipboard, it has taken to UI. Forward and reverse both are in the same way. So from PRPC to clipboard, clipboard to table. So clipboard is temporary storage, not permanent. How long this will be available on clipboard? See, I have closed clipboard. I will open once again. See, where do you find the clipboard icon? At the very bottom of your screen, you will find clipboard icon. If you are not able to see, no problem. You can see the video. At the very bottom, icon will be there, or clipboard name also will be there. Click on that icon, it will open the clipboard. On the clipboard, you have 19,002. It is there. And you see here, how many tabs are open? 19,001 work object related. 19,001 is there. 19,002 are there in the PRPC environment. So, for 19,002 you have, and 19,001 also there. Both are there. 19,002. This work object, I wanted to find out its data on the clipboard. So in order to find out the data on the clipboard, you need to go to PY work page. There is a page by name. What is the page? PY work. This PY work page related to only 19,002. Only 19,002. Okay, now you go to the clipboard. 19,001 I want to access. I am going to 19,001. 19,001 work object data is available on clipboard on PY work page. The PY work page for 19,001, PY work page for 19,002. Both are different. So by name PY work page, you can easily understand. Work object data will get posted onto clipboard always onto a system created page. This has been created by system at runtime. What is the name of the page that it is holding the data? PY work page. You can remember this. I'll tell you what is the page and all later. So if you go to PY work page, what do you see? Property, value, property, value, property, value. So the properties along with values, that is what makes sense, right, in the business logic. That is being held on clipboard. Clipboard is a place where you can see it. So clipboard is an intermediate storage place, temporary storage place between PRPC transactions and its database tables, rule-based tables. Data will be stored here. How long this will be available? I am closing this. Even if I open once again, 19,001, 19,002, both are there. Now look at here. I am going to close it. 19,002, I am closing the tab on environment. Now you go to clipboard. 19,001 is there. But what about 19,002? Do you have? Why it is not there? I closed it in PRPC. As long as something is open in PRPC environment, that will be there on clipboard. But actually, this is not the fact. Reverse is the fact actually. See, everything that you see on PRPC environment, Dev Studio, this menu, application, this menu, configure, the respective menu, and this flow diagram, this 19,001, begin insurance, this right side 3 classes, left side 3 classes, left side explorer menu. Everything that you see on PRPC environment, it will definitely be there on clipboard. See, I want to display something in PRPC environment. Without having that particular component on clipboard, you cannot display in UI. This is very, very important to understand. If anything I want to show on PRPC environment, anything, not only work object data and all, it may be a menu or left menu or right menu, anything. Everything that you see, this button label, this button label, this button options and values, everything that is there on PRPC environment, definitely it is there on clipboard. If you remove it from clipboard, you cannot see in the PRPC environment. PRPC environment is a mirror image of what is there on clipboard. That's it. Okay. Without having it on clipboard, you cannot see in PRPC. If you close it in PRPC, it will be gone from clipboard for sure. It will not be there further. That begin new insurance was there previously, but it is not there now. See, if I close 19,001, now it is not there on clipboard. So now, look at here. Where is it? Clipboard. 19,001 is also not there. See, if you are doing reverse, suppose if you are retrieving the data from table and want to display in UI, table to user interface, in between what should be there? Without bringing the data posted to clipboard, you cannot show in UI. That is impossible. Okay, that's how clipboard is important. Clipboard is a user interface. Clipboard is an intermediate temporary storage place which has entire data that is there on PRPC. But table, so if it is removed from clipboard, work object I closed, it is not there on the clipboard. But is it there in the table? Table is permanent storage. It will be there in table. If I open once again, what will happen? I will show you. Hold on. Recents. Recently, what I have access to will be there. I am trying to open 19,001 once again. When I am opening, what is happening? It is going to backend table, taking from there, first keeping it on clipboard, then showing it in the UI. Go to clipboard now. 19,001 will be there or not there? Data is there. So it has come to clipboard first. Reverse way, it will come to clipboard first and then UI. Forward way, UI to clipboard. Reverse, clipboard to database, clipboard, UI. Forward direction, UI, database, clipboard. What operation you are doing depends on it. Okay, now here you go. See, clipboard is a temporary storage place where the entire data of the transaction will be available when you open the transaction in the PRPC environment. Same data will be stored into tables. So whenever you create a work object data, everything will be posted to clipboard, and from clipboard it will be taken to table, where it will get posted on the clipboard. On clipboard, work object data will be get posted onto a page, system created page called PY work page. On this page, you have entire transaction properties. It is not only first name, last name, age, gender, state, city, zip code, country are your transaction properties, but also in the work table, what do you have? PX create date time, PX update date time, PY ID, all this also part of transaction. So now you see, PY work page, apart from holding age, city, country and all, does it have first name? Does it have PX create date time property with a value? Same value you will also find in the table with the same name as a column name. Yes or no? And now px create date time, px create operator is there, px update date time, px update operator both are there, and py id, is it there? Py id, is it there with a value? All these property names are similar to table names, table column names or not? This is one thumb rule one should remember. See, always, if you know property name, you don't need to specifically think about column name. Property name, you know, column will be there with the same name. Okay, PYID. Like this, property names, column names are exactly matched. If I tell you column name, you don't need to ask me what is the property name. Okay, because property name also will be same. That is the design of Pega. Everyone clear? In future, if I ask you what is the column name and all, you should tell the property name. If I ask you property name, even if you tell column name, both are same. If I tell you a property name, property is here, but property is not there as a column in the table. That means where it should be there, available. I told you first name property, you have a table, it is not there as a column. If it is not there as a column, means it will be there in same table, inside page at pvist. Property is there, but column is not there, corresponding. It doesn't mean it is not at all there. It is there, masked. Where it is there? Inside pvist. Understand everyone clear? So all the OOTP properties and the respective columns will be same, including your properties columns also will be same. It will not show up outside. It will be there inside PJPV stream. Make sense, everyone clear? And work object data will be posted onto clipboard on a page called PY page. Okay, it is there. I'm saying page. What is page? Clipboard, you know. Clipboard holds entire data. Entire data. See, imagine a physical board in a college. All of you are from college only, right? Some time back. In a college, you have a notice board. I'm not talking about a digital board, just a regular board, what you see. On a notice board, what you find? Notices. Imagine there are 5 notices. All notices will be written on one paper, or each one will have a separate page.
Separate.
Paper 1 they will take, write notice 1, post it on clipboard. Paper 2, notice clipboard. Notice board. Notice board is equal to clipboard. Each paper is equal to 1 page. What will be there on a paper? You go to notice board, paper you take, what is there on the paper? Content is there. Some content is there, right? That content is equal to property plus value. Understand everyone clear? Content. So exactly notice board plus 1 page on notice board you are fixing, on page you have data. Correct? Same way, clipboard is like notice board. Clipboard will have data but not directly on the pages. Each page is going to have property plus value, 1 or more properties. So now work object data will be posted onto clipboard on a system created page by name. What is the page name? PY work page under user pages category. What is the category? User pages. I'll tell you remaining later. When we come across, we can learn. There is no hurry, nothing. Okay. So work object data will be posted onto clipboard on a user page called PY work page. PY work page will have all the properties. PX create date time, update date time, PYID, PX create operator, update operator, PYID, and remaining things. First name, last name, age, gender, state, city, zip code, country, all this will be there along with values. Page is holding properties plus values also are there. So from this statement, what you can say? What is page? I said a statement, page is having properties plus values. So what do you say? What is that? How would you define a page? Online you don't respond. Offline only will respond because unmuting from your end is disturbing others. That's why. Page is holding properties plus values. If you are wanted to respond, you can use charting window. Now charting window should be available for everyone. What is page? Page holds properties plus value. Value for every property is it mandatory to have value? See there? Values are there. Value you have or not, that depends. Properties will be there. So page holds properties. From this we can define page is collection of properties. Page is collection of properties, or page contains properties. Page is container of properties. Page holds properties plus values, optional. Page holds properties. First thing. Page is the holder of all your work object related properties. That is PY work page. PY work page holds entire transaction related properties plus values. There are so many other pages. There are so many other pages. We can think of those later whenever we come across. The important page that everyone should know about as of now is, what is the page name? PY work page is a page which holds entire transaction data, entire work object data. Okay, everyone clear? Page is collection of properties and optionally values. What is the use of a page? I have to explain you. That is the next topic. So far, everyone clear about clipboard and page? Everyone? Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at understanding about pages. But before we discuss about pages, further to create more screens in the transaction model, so we need to understand about data classes. What is the next one? Data classes. I'll explain you with a simple diagram and example. Okay. Look at here. Ours is SBI, right? See, when you create new application, you created a new application. Okay, one of the application, let's say in implementation application. Application has got created, work class group has got created, and backend table got created. Okay, I have to tell you something more. Hold on. So data is getting stored into work table, right? So here we need to add something more. See, work object is being created by executing the flow. I am not going to data classes. First, I have to finish something pending. I have created work object. Now you tell me, where does this work object stored? In the backend? Work table. This work object has got stored in the backend into which table? Work table, right? How many tables are in the backend? I am not asking about exact number. Is it only one available or many tables?
Many tables.
Many tables available, right? Out of all these tables, how does process commander knows that it has to store the work objects only into this table? Why not into other tables? You understand the question? So you will be able to better learn any subject only when you have questions. Now you tell me, the question is, not you. You understand or not? That's what it means. The question is, there are so many tables in the backend rule base. How does the process command knows that the work object should be taken and stored only into this table? Why not into other tables? That's what we need to get clarification about. I am not asking you question, please. I will be explaining you going forward. If I am going to ask you, I'll tell you. You have to respond, say something like that. Question, and we are about to learn about what is happening there. Okay. Now I'll tell you, because you don't know, you cannot even guess this. Okay, let me tell you. But before that, few points we need to realize. See, you will get the definition of class, group, work object now. Work object is getting created. How it is getting created? How it is getting created? When you, what is the action that you are performing to create a work object?
Execute a flow.
What is the action you are performing to create a work object? You are executing flow. You are executing flow. When you execute a flow, the execution of a flow is turning into creating work object, initializing your transaction. Correct? Where did you create this flow? You should create in some class, right? Leave about applications and all. Only class. This flow which I have executed has created a work object 19,003. And this flow executed, created in which class? What is the work class name? Full name. This work class is related to which application? Framework. Framework work class. Correct? So, your flow is created in framework work class. It got executed from that class only. Means the execution has happened in the region. In the region or boundary. What is the boundary in which you have executed your flow? Framework class group is a boundary in which you have executed your work object. Your work object was born. Where it was born? See, someone has born in the city of New Delhi. Someone has born in the city of Hyderabad. What is your birthplace? New Delhi. What is your birthplace? Hyderabad. That is the region in which you are born. Work object is just, it is also something like, it is having a birth, right? Initiate transaction, work object is born, right? In which region it was born? Framework class group. I mean, work class or class group, you can say anything. Both are same. In short, we call it the work class. Framework class group. In the region of framework class group, this was born when I execute the flow. Okay, everyone clear? Now, see, I am going to create one more flow. You can either directly create, I am going to ask a question now. This is the question for you to answer. If I create a flow in the implementation class group, flow created. Section flow actions are not there. Will I be able to access the flow action that is there in the framework class group in the implementation class group flow? Yes or no? Yes, right? Because inheritance is there. So I can create just by save as. It is there in the theory document which I have already shared. Follow that further. Save as means copy paste. I am copying to create one more because everything else is same. Bigger insurance, new means something different name I am giving in the implementation class group, right? I'll choose implementation class group. So I have created one more flow. Maybe details are same. Leave about details. One more flow I created in which class? Implementation class. Can I execute this? I am executing this flow. In which region I am executing this flow? In the implementation class group region. In the region of implementation class group, a work object was born. 19,003, 19,004, these two work objects were born in which region? Framework class group region. 19,005 was born in implementation class group region, right? And you enter some data and submit, okay, just for our better understanding. Okay, so here you go. And here you go. I'm going to enter some data here. And some country, state, city. Submitted. This object should have been stored in the backend table, yes or no? Now let's go to backend table. This was the table we were focusing on since long back, right? View data. Let me requery this. This table name you see, SBI FW, SBI Insurance. So far work objects are there here. 19,005. Is it there? 19,004 is the last object that is present in this table. 5 I created. It did not get stored into the same table which was holding previous work objects. Let's go to some other table. This is the second table, different table. View data, first 100 rows. Do you have 19,005 here? I'll create two more work objects now. Look at here. I'm going to execute the flow which is in framework class group to create a work object 19,006. Framework or implementation sequence is being followed by process command. Leave about the sequence. 19,006 is created by executing the flow in the region of framework class group, and 19,007 is being created by executing the flow which is there in the region of implementation class group. Where is 6? Where is 7? 7 got stored into table 2. 7 got stored into table 2. What about 6? 6 is not stored here. 6 is stored into some other table. Table 1. Some other table. Its name also matching with class groups names if you observe. Okay, but I am not focusing on the names. Name can be anything. 19,006 definitely you'll find here. For sure you'll find here. $19,006. Understand everyone clear? So where is this knowledge for VRPC? Where is this intelligence? VRPC, if you are executing a flow, storing work object into table 1. If you are executing a flow, another flow, storing work object into table 2. How does it knows where to store, in which table to store? That is the question. Now, based on the birth region of the work object. Based on the birth region of the work object. So for the work objects which are being created by executing the flow of framework class group are storing into table 1. Just I am not giving full name, table 1. Work objects which are created by executing the flow which is in the region of implementation class group is storing into table 2. Okay. Now work object is being born in region. What is that region? Class group. Work object is born in a region. What are you calling that region? Class group. It may be framework class group or implementation class group. Both are class groups or not. So work object is getting created within the region of some class group. Correct? Now you go to the definition of these two class groups. Framework class group, its definition. Let me close everything else. Hold on. Framework class group definition. This is the definition. What do you see if you scroll down? It says test connection to database table. There is one button. It is saying you can see the connection with some database table. I am clicking on that. I'll copy the details to a notepad because it is not legible here. Close this. This message I got when I click on test connection to a database table in the framework class group definition. Leave about the other sentences. Only bother about this. Class, this particular framework class group is mapped to a table, some table. Now similarly, you go to implementation class group definition. Definition of implementation class group. There also you see test connection to a table. Open this, copy this, close this, go to this one, remove the unwanted text which you get confused with. Now you see class framework class group mapped to this table. Class implementation class group mapped to this table. Are these both same tables or different tables? Look at the name. Different table name. Table 1, table 2. Different. Look at the point A. This is already in place available. Each class group is already mapped to a specific table. Let me draw a diagram and show you. Let me open a diagram. See here. This is the diagram. Let it get loaded. This is the diagram. See, this is implementation class group. This is framework class group. Already mapping is being done. Mapping means linking. Implementation class group is linked to table 1. Framework class group is linked to table 1. This relation is already present. So if I create work objects in implementation class group, the work object gets stored into a backend table. Which table? The table which is mapped to its class group. The table, it is mapped to its class group. Work object is being born in the region of a class group. It will get stored into a table which is mapped to its class group. Understand? The work object that I created in framework class group is getting stored into some other table which is mapped to the respective class group where it was formed. Understand? Everyone clear? Online resources. This is the point which you should be able to understand, which you should have to clearly understand. Based on this concept, entire Pega is designed. Entire Pega, everything in Pega is designed based on this fundamental concept. You don't know this concept at all, and you are a developer in Pega, you will not be considered as a techie. You are just a developer, you know how to develop, but you don't know this concept. Means you cannot troubleshoot, you cannot reverse engineer, you cannot design anything by yourself. You can only follow wizards to create something. That's not the way of learning. So everyone clear with this point? Online resources also, now you can unmute and ask. I'm repeating once again. Work object is being born in a class group region when you execute the flow. It will get stored into a table which is mapped to its class group where it was born. Understand? Everyone clear? And now similarly, if you create a work object by executing the flow in implementation class group, it will get stored into a table which is mapped to implementation class. If a work object is being created by executing a flow in framework class group, that object gets stored into a table which is mapped to framework class. So work object is being born in the region of class group, right? Framework or implementation, overall it is class group. What is the definition of work object? I'll tell you. Work object is said to be instance of class group. Work object definition, technically what is the work object definition? Work object is a virtual entity and all for your ease of understanding. Actual definition is this one. You should answer this one only when asked in the interviews. Okay. Work object is being born inside the region of a class group, right? So that is said to be work object is instance of some class group. A work object created in the framework class group is instance of framework class group. A work object created in the implementation class group is instance of implementation class. Any class group, overall work object definition is work object is instance of class group because it gets created by executing the flow within the region of a class group. Work object gets stored into a table. Now you see, work object gets stored into a table which is mapped to its class group. Class group, in short, you call it a work class. Anything is okay. Framework class group will map to some other table. Implementation class group will map to some other table. That's how Pega decides where to store. That's why it is leaving about all other tables. Now, from this definition, let me derive the definition of class group. So far, I did not tell you what is the definition of class group, right? Class group. Okay, now let me ask you one question. How many work objects I can create in a class group? How many work objects? How many work objects we can create in a class group? N number you can create. So from that, class group is instance class of work objects. There can be one or more objects, right? Class group is instance class of work object. That's how it is simple to understand the definitions. If you read the definition like work object is instance of class group is instance class for work objects, 10 times you read and remember. If you do not know the real meaning of these definitions, again it is like our graduation. Okay, that is waste of time, everything. Okay, you should understand what does it means exactly. Work object is instance of class group. Okay, you told definition. Explain the definition in detail. What do you need to explain? Work object is instance of class group means work object gets created in the region of class group. It gets stored into a table which is mapped to its class. Understand everyone clear? Online resources you can unmute and respond now. Everyone clear?
Yes. Can you explain class group?
It is very simple. Work object is instance of class group. Correct? From the same definition, I am deriving the definition of class group. In a class group, I can make 100 transactions. As a result, how many work objects will get created? 100. For all these work objects, the instance class is same or not? So, class group is instance class for what? Work objects. That's it. Clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the definition, technical definition of work object and class group, and also understanding about how does process commander knows to store the work objects into a specific table that is created in the back. Make sense? Everyone clear? Every one of you. See, those who are from your local language, medium of study or your education or something, you may not be able to even understand these technical terms when you listen it only once. Even for the other people also, it is same. You need to listen back to these technical terms again and again. Each time you listen and try to analyze and understand. Then only you will be able to understand clearly. See, a programming language, you can even learn in your mother tongue also. But what do you speak out when in the interviews? Are you going to respond in your mother tongue? See, you should not bring anything to your feet. You have to reach the great height where it is available. Understand? You understand what I said? If something is difficult to understand, okay, you should not try to make it to bring down to your level. You have to reach to the next higher level of gaining such knowledge. Okay, you don't know English language. You're not expert in English. You need not to be expert. You are not proficient in English language. You should not learn a programming language in your mother tongue. It is not the right approach. You have to learn, be proficient in English language, and you reach that height. That is what needed for your professional career. Okay. Make sense, everyone clear? So you listen back to this video again and again so that you will understand clearly. But while listening, you don't simply listen and read. Just try to give the examples of your own ways. Again, it takes time for learning anything. Simply within 1 month, 2 months and all, it is impossible to learn any technology. If you are learning a technology in 2 months or 3 months means, you are getting the idea of information and you are getting just one route and one path of learning it. But as you do more research, as you do more practice, then you will be gaining the subject knowledge for sure. Okay, for that it will take time for anyone, wherever you learn. Okay, again it depends on your explanation from your master. Okay, and again how you take it, how you again analyze it, how you practice, what time you spend, how many hours are you spending in a right way. Okay, టీవీ పెట్టుకొని పెగా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే అంత చెత్తకుప్పలో పోసింది, ఉపయోగం ఏం లేదు. ఓకే, అక్కడ టీవీలో పాటలు పెట్టుకుని ఇక్కడ పెగా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేశారు, there is no use. Okay, so you create your own environment. Okay, especially people who are staying in hostels. పక్కన ల్యాప్టాప్ లో ఆన్ చేసి పాటలు పెడితే లాగకూడదు అన్నట్టు, ఏం పర్లేదు. వాడు ఎందుకు వచ్చాడు ఇక్కడ హాస్టల్కి, ఊరి నుంచి ఎంజాయ్ చేయడానికి కాదు కదా. Okay, so every work object that gets created will be created in the context of, in the context means region, in the context of some class group for sure. Okay, it must be created in the context of some class group. Everyone clear? Okay, so the work object gets stored into a table which is mapped to its class group. How do you know which class group is mapped to which table? Look at here. You need to go to the definition of class group and do a test connection. You will be able to know. So now I am going to tell you about exactly where this linking is being defined. Relation. Class group is linked to a table, right? Mapped to a table. Okay, where is this defined? We did not define it. It was automatically being done when you create a new application. For that to see, this is the navigation. This should be there in the theory document itself. Go through it. Any class group, if you wanted to see what is the table it is mapped to, you can go to definition and click on test connection. That will give you read-only information of what is it been mapped to. Exactly, you want to see the real definition where it has been added. Right click on this, view sysadmin database table. Just for your information, no need to remember it now itself. Okay, take your time later. Okay, and here you go. I'm sorry, I opened database server. View sysadmin database table, and you got one thing. Click on that. This particular class group is mapped to a table PC SBI SBI whatever. Is it editable or not? Can I add some other table name? Given some other table is there in the backend, if I give table and save it, going forward your work objects will store into table 2. Given table 2 is there, but I am not changing it. Just to tell you, business is asking you, business is giving you one requirement. So our transaction model is being designed. There are so many transactions done so far, and all the work objects are getting stored into table 1. Business is giving you a requirement saying that this is the information what is already present. Business has created one table in the backend, which is similar to table 1 by name table 2. And now they have come to developer. We have one table created in the backend table 2 by name. We would like to store all the work objects that are going to create from tomorrow onwards into table 2. This is the requirement you have been given with. Then how do you implement? You need to, where you need to change? In this place, you need to know that you have to remove the table 1 and place table 2. Given table 2 should be there in the backend. How do you know this place? When you learn Pega in depth. If I tell you only clicking on text connection, it will do table connected mapping and all. Up to that, if I leave you, you will not be able to work on the requirement just now given. You are being given the requirement. Work objects are getting stored into table 1. You don't want it going forward, it should store into table 2. If you want to practically implement this on PRBS environment, you should know the place where this mapping is being defined. This is why learning Pega rules, process, command, and design is also important than just learning a transaction model in business application. Understand? That's why we will be spending 3.5 months here almost. Otherwise, the same session I could complete even in half an hour. Okay, but if you want to learn in depth, this is the way of learning Pega. Okay. Any doubts? Any questions? In this case, every flow work object I answered. Backend, it will be there in the backend. Every work object you create will be there in the backend table. Any questions anyone else has? Online. So finally, I wanted to tell you one thing. See, as we are posting this video recordings in the folders, right? If any one of you have any such thought, like you can listen back to these videos even after one week or after 1 month also, and you can practice even if you are not regular to the class, even if you are not attending the class. you have the chance of repository access and you can access and learn it later. If you have any such mindset, one will be miserably failing. Okay, your failure will be ultimate. You cannot get back again. Okay, only listening to the live session maximum to the possibility, it will help you a lot. Suppose you have missed class today, no problem. As a continuation to yesterday, tomorrow or today evening itself, if you go through this video and if you start on practical, it will work out, no problem. After 10 days you come back, you did not practice for these 10 days. After 10 days you come back and you start from day one, you will not be able to understand. You will not be able to practice. You will stuck so many places. Finally, you will get irritated with the subject. Finally, you feel like Pega is difficult to learn. You will not realize that what mistake you have made. You feel like Pega is difficult. It is not you. You will tell everyone else, Pega is difficult to learn, Pega is difficult to learn. That will happen. If I say you, it is not pointed to you, only you. In your place, I am also there. It depends on the mindset of the person. Okay. It will be simple as you make it simpler in your own methodologies of learning and being regular and being dedicated towards learning and completing or finishing anything on time. You revise after 10 days, it will be okay. But today's session you have missed, and after 10 days or after 7 days, if you are going to watch the video, I'm pretty much sure that you will be able to be as good as in your understanding when you are regular. And one more thing, strictly, after your session,
కరెంట్ పోయిందా?